When the Europeans arrived, they thought Dahomey would be easy to conquer. That was not the case. Hello, I'm the Chapel Storyteller, and here we talk about all things Africa. By the late 19th century, European powers were intensifying their colonization efforts in Africa. Dahomey, with its strategic location and valuable resources, became a target for French expansion. They viewed the African kingdoms with a sense of superiority, assuming that their advanced technology would easily overcome any resistance, thereby underestimating the strength, organization, and the determination of African armies. This was certainly the case with Dahomey, which led to two major conflicts known as the Franco-Dahomeyan Wars. The Agojie in particular were a significant surprise to the French. The concept of a large, well-trained, all-female fighting force was completely outside of their expectation and challenged their preconceived notions about African warfare. The first clash, the Franco-Dahomeyan War of 1890, was a wake-up call for the French. Dahomey, with the Agojie leading the charge, actually pushed back the initial French advance, forcing them to call for backup. Even though they were outgunned, the Agojie were tactical geniuses. They knew their muskets couldn't compete with French repeating rifles and artillery, so they got up close and personal. Machetes flashed, hand-to-hand combat raged, and the Agojie used the terrain like seasoned pros, using ambush, flanking maneuvers, and natural cover to minimize the impact of French firepower. They knew the land and they used it. Another aspect was their adaptability. When faced with French firepower, they didn't simply charge in, they developed counter-tactics. They mastered the art of closing distances quickly, turning what seemed like a disadvantage, their simpler weapons, into a strength. A French soldier might have the best rifle in the world, but it wouldn't help him much when an Agojie warrior suddenly appeared within arm's reach, wielding a machete with little precision. This first war ended with a treaty in October 1890. Dahomey was forced to cede some territory to France and recognize French influence in the region. However, this peace was short-lived as tensions remained high. The French, stung by the unexpected resistance, came back with a vengeance in the Second Franco-Dahomeyan War from 1892 to 1894. This time, they brought the full force of their military might. Despite their incredible bravery and tactical brilliance, the Agojie and the Dahomeyan army were ultimately defeated by sheer firepower, but they left a mark, a huge mark. At their peak, the Agojie made up a staggering 40% of Dahomey's entire army, a fact that astonished European military observers. So while they couldn't ultimately prevent colonization, the Agojie's legacy as fearless, strategic, and utterly remarkable fighters lives on.